Well, American men are in deep trouble. The numbers show that very clearly. What's causing this? Well, according to the American Psychological Association, the problem with men is their maleness. Newly issued guidelines argue that, quote, traditional masculinity is harmful and that psychologists should somehow undermine it. Christina Hoff-Sommers is a resident scholar at the American Enterprise Institute. She's co-host of a new podcast, Femsplainers, and she joins us tonight. Thank you very much for coming on.
Great to be here.
So I just imagine a study that found that inherently femininity is poisonous, or inherently homosexuality is poisonous, and women and gay people should suppress the way they feel they naturally are for the sake of their mental health. Like, how would that go over, do you think?
Not well.
Yeah.
And this is shocking because it was published by the American Psychological Association. It's the largest sort of scientific professional organization of psychologists, over 120,000 members, something like that. And it is just inundated with jargon about male privilege and hegemonic masculinity and androcentric European masculinity. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's a politicized doctrine. And just think, if you had a depressed son or father and needed psychiatric help, psychological help, and you would have to worry that the psychologist was enthralled to this dogma.
But I wonder if this dogma isn't causing depression, actually, since it's everywhere. I mean, what would happen if you told girls the qualities that make you feel female are poison and you must suppress them? What would that do to their mental health?
Nothing good. Basically, we are treating masculinity as a pathology in need of a cure. Well, not we, the American Psychological Association.
Right.
And it's as if the average male needs to be re-engineered or re-socialized according to specifications from, I don't know, a gender studies textbook from the 1970s. It's outdated. You wouldn't know that biology played a role in masculinity.
Yes.
It just asserts dogmatically that it's a social construction, and because it was socially built, well, let's rebuild it according to the lights of, you know, these agenda-driven researchers.
Only crazy people believe that because it ignores biological reality. I also wonder why this report doesn't address the real drop in testosterone levels over the past 30 years. Does that play some role in male dysfunction? No one seems interested in that. Why?
Well, no one fully understands that. But what's sad, too, is that if you read the report, buried deep inside, there's actually some good advice.
Oh, I'm sure.
They recommend that psychologists, when you're treating a young man, if he's typical, he doesn't want to sit and look at you and talk about his feelings. There have to be other approaches, and they recommend shorter sessions and maybe go play basketball or something.
Right.
So they do make concessions to conventional masculinity while deploring it and denying it. And you would never know that men or maleness was ever synonymous with anything good reading this report.
Should it make us nervous that politics is so clearly intruding into science? Definitely.
And as I said, you would have to find out what a psychologist's politics were, what they thought about this report before you wanted for a man, send a young man or your husband.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really appalling, the politicization.
We're entering the dark ages. It's sad. You were a light in the middle of the dark ages, so thank you. Christina Hoff-Sommers, great to see you, as always. Democrats want something called a